To sign up for a free play each and every day, just text the word PLAY to 1-877-537-7716.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Jim Feist and Hank Goldberg here in Las Vegas. Hank, you just rocked it on the weekend. I think you had a perfect record in the contest.
I did. I'm tied with 59 other people for first place.
Oh, wow.
Well, that's not bad with almost 4,000. So I think there were 450 guys or 450 entries who were at 4-1 too. So people did all right.
Yeah.
But there were I think 59 people who were 5-0. I've got a lot to talk about today. Starting with baseball, if we could. Milwaukee got a severe blow yesterday with Yelich on a freak play, hitting a ball off his knee, and he's out for the season. And they're in the midst of a 5-game winning streak, and going for a playoff spot. And it could be the MVP in the American League. He's been tremendous the last couple of years. They're really going to miss him.
Yeah, it's hard to replace a guy that's that talented. It's pretty impossible, actually. That's a terrible blow. Terrible blow. Lots going on in baseball. There's some really exciting races, and they're down to the wire with about 18 to 20 games left.
Well, I think the big story in baseball is Dombrowski being relieved of his duties in Boston. I can tell you what happened there. At the beginning of the year, John Henry, who's a very two-faced guy and has always been not honorable. He was that way in Miami when he owned a team there. He and I never got along because I always thought he was a fraud. And he told Dombrowski at the beginning of the year that they would extend his contract, which had this year and next year to go. And but Tom Warner, the other partner, had to be involved. And Warner had told Dave a month into the season that not to be impatient, they would get around to it as the season wore on. So a couple of days ago, John Henry calls Dave and tells him that they do not intend to renew his contract, and that effective immediately he's out as president. Dave asked for a reason, and John Henry said, "Well, we're just not happy, and we want to make a change." He said, "What were you unhappy about? The 3 pennants and 1 World Series that I got you in the 4 years that I've been here? Does it start with that?" And John Henry said, "I'd rather not discuss it."
Oh, God.
And that was that. Now, Dombrowski gets paid for next year. He's not hurting for money. But, they love Cora, the manager, who Dave brought in. He's done a fantastic job with the Red Sox. And Boston is outraged. The fans are outraged. The press has really given the Red Sox a going over on this one. Dave has done a good job wherever he's been. He did a great job in Detroit. He got the Marlins a World Series when he was there, and went through their expansion process and got them a World Series. He was terrific with the White Sox when he was there. Early in his career, he worked with Mike Beck. He's a terrific guy, and somebody will go after him. I think the Angels would be a terrific spot for him, but Dave's an East Coast, Midwest guy. I'm not sure he wants to be on the West Coast, but somebody, like I said, will go after him. It's amazing to me that he doesn't last with the Red Sox, but Cashman the Yankees have hung in with Cashman, and look where they are. And for one reason, Cashman only answers to one guy, and that's Steinbrenner. The Red Sox have Warner, who's not a good guy, and John Henry, who's a real two-faced guy, although with two faces, I don't know why he's wearing the one he has on now. I never liked John Henry. I never believed in him. He was lucky to have Dombrowski in the first place. But, that's that. But that's the story with Dombrowski that I also gave to ESPN.
Wow, that's quite a story. Thanks for sharing that. Anything else going on in baseball that you want to cover before we switch over to football?
What else could there be?
Well, they got some pennant races going on.
Well, yeah. I mean, Milwaukee, was in the middle of a race, and they lost their best player. And they're on and it's a 5-game winning streak. Cleveland is playing well. They won 3 in a row, and I think this in their race. But the Milwaukee, Washington seems to be pretty well set right now. And the race for the other spot, I think, is the Cubs catch a huge break with the Yelich injury.
Yep, and switching over to football, we do have a game tomorrow night between Tampa and Carolina.
This is an interesting. I think this game is. This is a tough spot for Tampa Bay. Winston is now failed to win a game on the road in his last 12.
Wow.
He's never won a primetime game.
Wow.
And he's going up against a pretty good Carolina defense. It's close to the point where Tampa Bay has to face the fact that this guy's a flop. And if he fails to come through tomorrow night, they may be looking for, to replace him. I mean, it's early enough in the year. And, Arians, he's not dumb. And last week, Winston goes out and turns the ball over 4 times. He had 3 interceptions in their game against San Francisco. Now he's going up against a much better defense. And, it's a short week for him to prepare. Carolina's got that tremendous running back. Christian is, he had a very busy week last week and gaining over 200 yards.
Yeah, McCaffrey.
I don't know if he's tired, but
McCaffrey's amazing.
Yeah. McCaffrey is tremendous, and Christian is maybe as good a player as there is in the league right now. But it'll be entertaining to watch him in this game. I think Tampa Bay's in for, frankly, for a shellacking.
Well, Carolina's got to put up some points to do that. They, what's the story with Cam Newton? What his physical, mental status and everything?
Nothing wrong with his shoulder.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah, that's a big game, primetime game. The game opened Carolina 6.5 and 50.5. Now it's 7 and 49.5 with the under favored.
Carolina just has to learn how to finish. That's what it was their problem last year, and that's Cam's problem. He doesn't finish.
Yep. Well,
but the tight end is healthy. Their deep Kuechly is healthy. They're good on defense. This matchup doesn't bode well for Tampa Bay right now.
Well, anything in the colleges we got some obviously Ohio State and Indiana. You got some,
nothing. No great matchups in college this weekend that are tremendous attractions. I don't think. So this to me is a bounce back week that you're looking at in the NFL, and that's. Pittsburgh, for example, has Seattle coming in. I looked up Seattle's record going east in the last 3 years, 6-9, 6-9-1. against the number. They don't travel well going east. Meanwhile, if you look at Roethlisberger's record when he fails to put up a touchdown, it's 26-3 the next week. I think Seattle's stepping into a tough spot. The other bounce backs. I think Houston has Jacksonville coming in there. Jacksonville has got Minshew at quarterback. I think that Houston, off a short week and off a very physical game, could have difficulty in that game. You're looking at Tennessee, and here's Indianapolis on the road again this week, and they've got to go into Tennessee and face a team that's coming off a big win. I'll tell you something. Here's a stat for you. With luck, Tennessee was 0 for 11 against Indianapolis. With Brissett, they're 2-0.
What do you mean, Indianapolis against Tennessee?
No, Tennessee against Indianapolis. Against Luck was 0 for 11, and Tennessee against Brissett was 2-0.
Okay. Well, Brissett played pretty well last week. He did.
Yeah, he's never had a rating over 100 2 games in a row. And they're on the road again. Not easy. And they went up against that Charger pass rush, and now they go up against a terrific defense, and a very good coach. So that's not an easy deal for them. And also they lost Funches.
Well, Funches, that's a big loss. That's a big loss. The San Francisco, they're on the road again too, for the second straight week, and so is.
And by the way, Cincinnati played well last week. They, their quarterback threw for over 400 yards. So let's see if he can duplicate that this week.
That's a new regime there in Cincinnati, coaching change, etc. So you never know what you're going to get there. But traveling 2 weeks in a row to start the season has never been an ideal situation, and that is Kansas City's doing the same thing. Were you surprised how well Oakland played on Monday?
Well, Kansas City is at home this week against the Raiders.
Not according to the screen. No, they're on the road at Oakland.
I don't think so. They're only an 8-point favorite.
Well, that's what it says. It says they're on the road.
Hold on, I'm going to look at that because, Kansas City's on the road. You're right.
So
I think I think this is Kansas City's third straight road game, counting preseason.
And they lost Hill, but they have.
They got a rookie who's pretty good to replace him.
I'll repeat that question. What did you think of Oakland coming out and playing so well in that game the other night?
I thought they were very well coached. I thought his play selection was very good. I thought their offensive line was a lot better than people thought. Although I think they lost their right guard in the game. They had a severe injury loss. Abrams, their defensive player who was so good last week, is out. I think he's done for the year. That was a terrible loss for them.
Yeah, it is.
But Kansas City, I think Kansas City's record against the Raiders is, very severe difference. But, this is in Denver. they're playing. Denver, once again, showed no offense whatsoever.
Yeah,
I think the best bet of the week might be the under in the Chicago-Denver game. Trubisky against Flacco.
You're right. You're probably, you're right. Flacco looked like the same Flacco from before. He just doesn't even look like he wants to be there.
Well, you know what? I thought he played better than he normally does.
Really?
He completed a lot of passes in the game.
Maybe
they still couldn't put up points.
No.
But I'll tell you something. It wasn't an easy win for the Raiders, and it came down to the end. And like I said, Gruden came up with the right plays at the right time. That last play that he called that pass to the running back was a terrific call, and it was perfectly executed, and it showed preparation. And I think Gruden coached a very good game.
Well, speaking of coaches, Fangio's the head coach for Denver, and he was the defensive coordinator for Chicago last year.
Yeah, that's right.
And you have Cleveland on Monday going to the Jets. And I think I mentioned this the other day. The Jets' defensive coordinator was their head coach, the Cleveland head coach last year, and got fired, replaced by Kitchens, which I still don't understand why that happened. But
well, he was no great shakes last week either.
No.
They blew a 16-point lead against Buffalo, and once again the Jets failed to finish. Gase, nothing has changed with Gase. And I think that they've got some real issues. This is going to be a big test for the Jets. And actually, it's a bigger test for Cleveland because Cleveland's offensive line can't protect their quarterback. And I'm not sure what's going to happen with that. They've got an enormous problem there. These are two teams that can't afford to lose right now. I mean, Cleveland can't go 0-2 to start the season. It'll be just the same old Browns. And, if the Jets start off 0-2, by the way, Cleveland's schedule is not too easy at the beginning. They could wind up 0-4 to start.
I was just going to say that if they lose this game, they could easily be 0-4. The one piece of news I want to tell you, and you probably know it, but the Jets receiver Quincy Inua, or what? How do you say that? He's out for the season with a neck injury. Wide receiver.
They also lost one of their top defensive players too. So they're hurting.
They are hurting. When your offense gets up 16-0, you fail to score any more points. You leave the door wide open for stuff like that to happen.
The defense just quit. They had no answers for Buffalo defensively either.
Well, we learn a lot in week one, but we don't really know exactly whether it was a one-game event or a pattern. We'll find out. It's going to be interesting.
Well, who's Gase going to blame for that one?
Well, he'll probably blame his defensive coordinator. Well,
the Dolphins right now are averaging 26.8 points per game on defense. Of course, the last game they gave up 59. They're the worst defense in the league. And now they got New England coming in, and that's a 19-point number. And there are actually some people out there who think that because New England never plays well there, that the Dolphins have a chance to keep it close.
The only way that could stay close is if New England just doesn't play. That's that simple. New England looks.
How about Antonio Brown? Now he's got another lawsuit on his hands.
Well, the story never.
This is a criminal suit.
I think it's a civil suit. I don't think the girl ever filed a police report.
Oh, it's a civil suit.
What I don't understand, I'm not trying to judge it because I'm only reading what I read, like we all are. I mean, how do you get raped by the same person 3 straight times and keep going back? I mean, I don't understand that.
Oh, that happens all the time. If social workers have to deal with that with women who are consistently being abused by their spouses, and they go back and they're on multiple occasions because they think, oh, well, it only happened once, I'll forgive them. That's the way it works.
Wow. Well, this is going to be interesting. I mean, I don't know whether the league will suspend him until this investigation's over or not. They're talking about it.
Well, they're investigating it. They may go on the commissioner's whatever that list is called.
Right. It's a mess. It's definitely a mess. Hank, congratulations on a great week. Continued success. We will talk again Friday. Thank you.
Okay. Have a good day.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everybody go to JimFeist.com to get Hank's plays. He was red hot last week, and in the contest, he's one of, I think he said 49 or 59 people that are 5-0 in that contest. It was almost 4,000 people, so it's an amazing accomplishment. He did very well 2 years ago. He was right there next to the money, and last year, not so good, but this year he's starting off red hot again. And my picks, I'm doing tremendous in the NFL for the season. I believe my record, I'm not 100% sure, I think 18-4 or 18-5, something like that for the season, which is not bad. It's not 5-0, but it's still pretty damn good. Anyway, we'll talk to you again real soon. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jay Farner, CEO of Quicken Loans, America's largest mortgage lender. I've got great news. Mortgage interest rates have dropped. So if you're thinking about buying a home, right now is the time to lock that low rate, even before you find the home of your dreams. With our exclusive Rate Shield approval, the low rate you lock today is protected for up to 90 days while you shop for your new home. With a Rate Shield approval, if rates go up, your low rate stays locked. But if rates go down, you get that new, even lower rate. Either way, you win. Talk to us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com to take advantage. Here's another great reason to work with us. For a record 9 years in a row, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction for primary mortgage origination. Again, to lock in today's low mortgage interest rate and get the security of our exclusive Rate Shield approval, call us today at 800-QUICKEN or go to rocketmortgage.com.
For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com. Rate Shield approval only valid on certain 30-year fixed-rate loans. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. License in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.